Kalimera, kalimera. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hello. Welcome. Good afternoon. Good evening, wherever you are. Good morning. Kalimera. I'm going to say that again. Kalimera. Every day is a good day. How is everyone doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, everyone. Stelios is here with us. Kalispera que Karisas mera. That reminds me a little bit of Karas. Kalispera que Karibaria. Right, easy. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. I hope everyone had a good sleep, good rest. Others continue the day. Philip, nice message. Good morning. Peace for everyone. That's what we need. That's what we need. We need peace, not fighting. Right, okay, let me turn up a little bit of music to catch up with the vibes. Let's have a listen. That's enough to kill the silence. Right, I think it's about good. Right, yesterday, I hope everyone, we had an emergency meeting that was in Zoom. It wasn't recorded, so there is no way for you to go back and have a look at it. So, whoever made it, you know what we said. Kalimera everyone, Kalispera everyone. I'm going through the messages, and then immediately we're going to start going on the charts. Right, with no further delay, let's get things moving. Right, Bitcoin. Right, we said that yesterday as well in the emergency meeting that we dropped from 109. Okay, and we passed the 50% of the range with 105.8. I was hoping that Bitcoin could stay here, but no, the attacks were still going on, both sides. So yeah, it wasn't going to happen, so to say. Right, so we break under the 50% of the range. Now it's trying to push to the upside. However, I see kind of a rejection. So I think it's going to continue to the downside. Zoom out a little bit and have a look onto the left. I see that all our highs are getting lower and lower, and I'm going to put a trend line just to demonstrate that. Okay, so all our highs are getting lower, lower high, equal high, it fell, and then another low high. So you see some price action outside of the range. Okay, did not manage to go that far away, did not manage to sustain. The same thing here, it did not manage to sustain that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, like three triple tops here, 3 spikes on the top, and move to the downside, pushing one more time, did not manage to break out of the range. Before we reach 109, we had another phase of the attacks. Right, and it's pushing down. Right, and now again on the 90-minute time frame. Right, it's pushing to the downside. Sounds like it was colorful. Yeah, we have a good discussion about the region, what's going on with the Middle East, with US, Russia, China, Israel, the purpose, the excuses, everything. Now, in order for us to target 122, remember what I say, we need to, before we're going to talk about 122, we need to claim 109. Okay, so far it's getting weaker and weaker. Okay, I just want to let you know, it's like a heads up, Bitcoin is not looking strong right now, and the news, what's going on with the world, doesn't help it. Right, let's have a look a little bit on ETH. Here we got ETH. Right, here we go. Ethereum again follow the same path. Okay, we lost the 2,625. It came back to 2,500. It came a little bit aggressive, small deviation. Now it's trying to claim, and you know, maybe we're going to retest the 2,400 once again. Okay, looks like it. ETH Bitcoin, let's zoom out a little bit. All these time frames are 90-minute time frames. We got a double range happening here, right? The more narrow range that I can take that out, it's okay, it's not a problem. This is a bigger range, and it's the same story. Once again, we under the 50%. It's Ethereum, Bitcoin, both of them are consolidating. No one is overperforming anyone between, you know, the relationship between Ethereum and Bitcoin. What about the altcoin season? That lovely chart that we have here, that is pointing to the downside. So it doesn't look that alts can't, let's say, overperform Bitcoin. Okay, this is altcoins against Bitcoin. They're not overperforming Bitcoin. Kind of a small pause, so to say. Okay, so I'm going to put the rejection level here. Okay, so I'm going to put that as a range. Okay, or support resistance, whichever you like to see that. So that was the support if I had a marker. That was the support here, bounce, and now we're inside that range. So locally we have a range. Okay, this is what we see now, ranging. Okay, by all means, the alts are not overperforming Bitcoin. CME gaps, let's go to the daily. We have a new clear gap, which is the 104,770. I said that yesterday that there is a high possibility that we're going to clear that. So that's the yesterday's closing candle, and just before we close the session, I said I'm going to see what's going to happen with the next candle, because that happened just around midnight. We closed the stream about, I believe it was 1:30 my local time, almost 2 o'clock. And we have a new candle, and that candle opened lower, so that CME gap is being mitigated. If I take out the wicks, it's going to be more clear visually. There it is, it's here. All right, so we got that CME out of the way, that CME out of the way, that CME out of the way, and now the ones that we got left, I'm going to take that out now. The ones that we got left behind us, right, it's 109 above and 101 all the way down there. 101, 760, and the two followed further down is 96.6, 96.4, and there's one even further down, 91, and there's two couple down in 85 region and 84. Okay, but the ones that are close to us, with all these news and wars and attacks, you can see that the CME gap has been taken out. Okay, so now that it's been taken out, is the time for to go up? We never know, right? For the markets to blossom, so to say, and go higher, we need to have some good news. So, because the news that we've been hearing left, right, center, like yesterday that Donald Trump said that he's expecting a conditional surrender, and that was going for Iran, giving the impression, I mean, it was quite clear. It was giving the impression that they're going to get involved directly with Iran. That's the problem here now. that they're going to get involved directly with Iran. We will see. We will see. You know, I'm going to have a look what US are thinking to do nowadays. We will see. We will see. I mean, you know, I can't predict. I can't say much. I just need to get all the facts in the right way. Okay. So yeah. So let's go back on Bitcoin. Okay. Let's go down to 90 minutes. Okay. Strong. I'm not going to say a strong rejection, but we see a rejection 105. Okay. Let's have a look a little bit on total 1. Okay. And once again, please observe, I'm going to do this on the 12 hours. Please observe that T1, which is the crypto space, everything, right? The whole market cap of the crypto space. You can see that we had nice move to the upside. We passed almost 3.6 trillion. Okay. I think we broke the 360. Yeah, 368. We reached all the way up there, 3.6. Comes down. Second attempt, did not manage to touch or catch the previous highs. Huge push to the downside, another push to the upside, and nowhere near. So what do we have? We've got lower highs and lower highs. Okay, so that rally up did not create a high. Okay, and this is the area that we're paying a little bit attention. However, what we like to, you know, indicate here that we see kind of a weakness. Okay, we don't see fresh money coming into the crypto space, and that is a little bit, you know, a heads up. Okay, we've got a lower high on T1. T3, it's a little bit more dramatic. Okay, the difference and distance between the previous spikes. Look at that, 1.1, low high, low highs. Okay, so we have a wave to the downside, a push to the upside. We did not touch the previous highs, comes down, pushing one more time up. We were too far away from the previous highs. Okay, and we got our G levels that we see that we are reacting to our G levels, and it's coming down. Okay, so T3, which is the miners, so to say, the miners, the market cap from the miners, we see that they can push down, right? Let's have a look at a little bit look on dominance. All right. The downtrend, which a little bit, let's say, positive for the crypto space, that you see that the tether was going down. It means that people were moving away from tether. Now we see a little bit rise. Okay, sideways action, but a little bit rise. You see all these lows and highs are getting broken. Okay, so we see that stable coins, I mean this is only tether, but you can understand that people moving to stable coins. And speaking of which, this is tether. Let me see if I can get USDC as well. It's the same story, the same picture. I'm gonna add these as well. So let me move this guy up here. Today, I'm gonna do a little bit of global market overview. Okay, not on just crypto. Right. So you can see that tether is increasing, and also USDC for the Europeans. That the exchange, they have the problem with the security license. USDC again is increasing. Okay, so you can see that T1, T3 is dropping. Bitcoin, it's failing to break the 109, and you see stable coins rising. Okay, let's have a look a little bit on gold. Gold lately, okay, is increasing. Okay, It's been increasing, going on and on and on. Okay. The last, let's say, 1 or 2 days, it's kind of cooling off. It's coming down a little bit. But look at that. If I zoom out and go to the weekly, you can see that gold is on a constant rise. Okay, constant rise. Look at that. That it goes all the way back from 1975. Okay, 1975. Since then, we're going like increasing. And since like 2022, let's say after the COVID period, you can see that after 22, gold really picked it up. I mean, from 1,600-ish dollars, almost doubled, and we went up, all the way up to, let me measure that. And you can see so far it's doing 111% up just in the last 5 years. Okay. It's not performing like Bitcoin, like you get these 600% moves, but for gold to go up by 100% in the last 5 years, it's it's significant, right? Let's have a look a little bit on silver, because that drew my attention today, and I see silver. Let me do this on 12 hours. I see silver picking up. Now, silver is used a lot in the manufacturing. Okay, so there's a high demand, right? And because of the high demand, the price of silver goes up as well. Okay, if I go and compare from 2019 COVID period, post-COVID, and 159, so it's overperforming a little bit of gold. Okay, silver is moving, and silver is a bit cheaper than gold, right? Look at that, $37 for the silver instead of 3,383 for the gold. So silver is picking up. Let's have a look a little bit on oil, and let's have a little bit a discussion about oil. And I want you to see that spike up. Obviously, this is because of the war, right? But let me do that on the daily. Who remembers when the attack happened on Iran? When was the first strike? Let's get the exact date. Is that 5 days, 6 days now? So it was was it on the 12th? If I remember. Let me get the exact date. Let me have a look. The 13th. Okay. Israel, Iran started the 13th. So let's mark the 13th. So that's the 13th, right? That's the I wanted to know how come price starts spiking before that. Well, look at that lovely, let's say, range. Right, look at that range. And you have the breakout on the 6th. Right, moving to the upside, and then you have another move on the 11th. A good move to the 12th, and then the 13th that the attacks happen. You see that this is the 13th, this is the, yeah, that's the 13th. So yeah, Thursday the 12th, you can see that, when the initiated attacks, so to say, you can see that we have a big spike. But oil was heating up, right? When you see oil was dropping, consolidating, right? And then you see the breakout. Or at least, if you want to take this as a structure, okay, you see that the structure start, breaking out. The oil was going up before the attack, right? So That's something interesting to know. Right, now the price is going a little bit lower, so to say. So every time we get an attack, we've got these spikes. Okay, and we're going to see how later. I mean, I'm going to leave this. I'm going to leave that trend line, that vertical line here. Let me see, what time was it on my local time. Let me get the exact date in time. It was early hours in the morning, so but anyway, yeah, I mean, I got a lot of details of what the attacks happen and where. If I get the timing right, which I'm going to do that a little bit later today. When I get the timing right of the attacks, I'm going to put it here. So nevertheless, we can see that the price of oil was rising before the attack. Okay. Now, same here. Two different prices for the oil, different regions. Okay, don't worry about it. It's just different regions of the area. So I'm monitoring the average, 73, between 73 and 76. This is again a price section about various things that I'm monitoring, like energy wise. So I've got gold, I've got silver, I've got oil, heating oil, I've got refined gasoline, and also I've got natural gas. So even the heating oil price went spiked up. Okay. This is the refined gasoline. You see that is spiking up as well. And also this is natural gas. Okay, and I'm going to do these late, maybe on the smaller time frames for us to get more solid candlesticks, right? But you see that it's all over the place. Everything is rising. Okay. Another thing that I would like to show you is the VIX. And what is VIX? VIX is an indicator to show you the volatility in the market. And kind of, I want you to see this as, for you to easy to remember, okay, that when that, let's say, chart or indicator is spiking up, it means the fear is increasing. Okay, so when that goes up, it is not really good for us. Okay. So you can see that we have a turn. Okay, let me do this on a high time frame a little bit to demonstrate a little bit the lines. Okay, so that was extreme panic, right? And that happened in April. Okay, it cooled off, it was coming down, and now again we're curving and we're turning around. So volatility for the SP 500 is increasing. However, we need to translate this, that if it's increasing, it means it there's fear into the market, and people are start to close trades, stop trades, and going into defense mode, if that makes sense, right? We just need to be careful. If I zoom out and zoom in a little bit, I just need to be careful if it's going to be sudden move to the upside. Now what I've done, if I zoom out a little bit, just to give you an idea, why did I mark like G levels and stuff like that? Well, that chart, the minimum is 0 and the maximum is 100. Okay, so it's like a scale. Okay, if I zoom out, even on the weekly, You see, it never went below 0. It never went above 100. Okay. That was the year 2008. All right. So that was a sudden spike up, very aggressive to the up move. So that create panic into the markets. 2010, 2011, 2015, and that is 2020. Guess what that is? That is the COVID problem. Right after 2019, October, November 2019, it was the breakout of the COVID and the spread out that happened to the rest of the world and Europe and US. It was inside 2020, and you see that had a huge spike to the upside. Okay, we had one more time in let's say March and April. Was cooling off a little bit, but now once again we see that is rising. Okay, so I got the G levels up there for us to close monitor. So if we're going to pass, it's increasing, but if we're going to pass 25 and rising, that is going to be a no-no. We're going to understand that fear is coming in and taking over, right? So I would like to stay as low as possible, under 20 to be honest. I would like to stay under 18, right? But right now it's 21 and it's increasing. Okay, so we got fear into the space. Another interesting thing that I found, and let me do this on a monthly. This is the CPI chart. Okay, I found a way to have a CPI on the chart. Okay, and that's increasing. So if that is increasing, the rate will increase in some point from the Feds. Okay, so that is not going to be good. That is going to create more, not panic, but people will move. Now another negative thing here is the GDP, and that is on the 3 month, which is a quarter, and it's been the first time after 2022 that we have a negative color, a negative bar that is decreasing. Again, that is a little bit as alarming, so to say. So if that is going to end up being, let me see if I can get the reverse timing on it, which I don't see it for the 3 months, but it's okay. Yeah, it's not gonna, if that's gonna continue and stay red, it's not gonna be really positive for the general idea of the US economy. Okay, we're talking about US economy here. Unemployment rate. Okay, so kind of I have the FOMC going on here live on the chart. Okay, so I can see that the unemployment kind of increasing. Again, this is, I can put it on a monthly. Okay, it's 4.2. So let's say after after that President Trump took office, you can see that it's slightly increasing. Okay, slightly increasing. And look how we had a big spike on 2020, obviously because of the COVID, no one was working, so yeah, the unemployment rates went skyrocketing. Okay, and the Fed, this is another thing that we need to be a little bit cautious. Okay, this is the funds rate. Funds rate right now is 4.3, a little bit stable. I'm just worried that if the CPI is still looking bad, and the GDP falling, I believe that they're going to increase the rate from 4.3 maybe to a bit higher to 4.5 or something. Okay, so I just yes, we are bullish. Yes, we are inside the bull market phase, but we are towards the end of it, and I'm trying to get as unbiased as possible from other people, other gurus, right, or influencers, or celebrities, crypto celebrities and stuff like that. I'm trying to stay away and out of it, and I'm trying to see what is going on with the global economy, right? You can see that Dixie is, trying to push the prices up, the value of the dollar, right? But it's coming down now. Okay, we've got this high, a low high, all these lows have got broken. So Dixie is kind of dropping. That should short term push a little bit Bitcoin to the upside. But I don't think that this is the time now that Bitcoin is going to get pushed to the upside. Okay, so let me go back to the 12 hours or 90 minutes, and let's have a little bit careful observation that even now that Asia is towards the closing, we have EU opening, you see the reaction that's still Bitcoin dropping. Okay, so the question that I have in my mind is that do we, on a higher time frame, okay, do we see the divergence start to enforce, okay, trying to give us an understanding that the indicators on a high time frame are really pulling the price action to the downside. Okay, I still have hopes as long as we stay above the golden range here, the two lines that we have marked in golden color, okay, between 93 and 104. As long as we stay here strong, it's quite positive. And to be honest, that conflict, between Israel and Iran, already we know that Israel has open business, so to say, with Hamas and Hezbollah and Lebanon and Syria and and Palestinians. I mean, not Palestinians, but with Hamas. Now they have a new business, with Iran. Even though that is, the Middle East crisis again is boiling up, we can see that the prices are trying to hold. Okay, it is not yet crashing. That is because yet US is not really, hasn't really started getting involved. Let's see if that is going to turn. Okay, so we need to be careful a little bit and see what's going to happen with the United States if they are getting involved. The fleet, the Navy, so to say, of the US Navy are approaching the region, so they are going to be close by from 3 different directions. They're going to be close from the Mediterranean, supporting Israel, I suppose. They're going to come down. They do have ships down in the Mediterranean, and also they have ships coming inside the Persian Gulf. I posted a little map yesterday. Let me see if I open up for you. There it is. So you have the fleet coming from the Mediterranean, right? We've got a fleet just a bit behind in Greece. We've got a fleet under Cyprus, very close to Israel. Air defense, and we have in Saudi Arabia Sea, Arabian Sea. Closest Suez Canal to control this passage, because what can happen in this region here between the Gulf of Oman and the Persian Gulf is Iran, okay, can squeeze a little bit the passage here and make it a little bit difficult for the passage for the oil, Okay, so all the tankers that are around this region getting oil from Saudi Arabia, from Iran, from Iraq, from Emirates and stuff like that, they're going to try to control this area. And that's why the fleet, it's very, the fifth fleet is the fifth one. The fifth fleet is very close to the Arabian Sea and also in the Red Sea. So, they're all getting closer and closer. Now, the weak point of Iran is the Navy and the Air Force. Okay, that's why it's so easy for Israel. The type of aircraft that Iran has, they cannot fly from Iran to go to Israel, attack Israel, and come back. They're out of range. And also, they do not have air tankers, which means the planes cannot refuel as they go or as they come back. Okay, so they're gonna, if they decide to do it, it's gonna be a one-way ticket. So the Air Force will start flying from Iran. Maybe they're gonna approach Israel. That is if no one's gonna interfere, right? Which is less likely to happen. Jordan will be the ones to defend Israel. Okay, there's an agreement that there are agreements with some countries with Israel, right? So other countries are going to defend these flights before they're going to reach Israel. But even though, even let's say no one's going to interfere and then Iran flies, as I said again, it's going to be a one-way ticket. They don't have the fuel to go back. They don't have the capacity for someone to refuel them. There's no way they're going to land somewhere else to get fuel, because that will escalate things. Right, imagine that Iran turns around and goes to Syria, for example, or Lebanon. Israel will destroy these planes easily. Another aspect is that Iran has F4s and F14s, which are quite old planes, right? And that these planes do not have, for a lot of time now, for the past couple of decades, they don't have the original parts from the United States as a spare parts. So they've done their own parts as reverse engineering to cover all the parts that they would needed. So these machines, so to say, these aircraft are not in the standards of the United States as they got it from. Secondly, they're not updated. So I don't think they can go through the defense systems that Israel has, more modern technology on that. So Iran, as for the Air Force and the Navy, they don't stand a chance, right? They don't stand a chance against going flying on Israel, or bring out the Navy and trying to counterattack United States. It's not going to be easy. The strong point of Iran is the proxies that they have. They have very good connections with Hamas. They got good connections with Hezbollah. So they can do more easily damage from terrorism and through inside the territory that they want to attack. So instead of you waiting for them to fly over to you, they're already there around there with proxies and civilians, and they can take out any kind of attacks. So yeah, it's a different war. If the civilians of Iran, so to say, are kind of trying to protest, so to say, because maybe they're fed up with the government that they have, maybe we're going to see some changes. Maybe the regime that they have in Iran is going to fall. I don't know. I don't live there. I'm not. Let's say I'm not, studying the history of Iran or Persia and Iraq. I don't know the culture, so I don't know what they're going to do or what they're thinking. I'm just, what information I gathered the last few days. Okay. So, in the end of the day, what does it mean for us? It means for us, I see that it's more wiser to say to you guys that we need to focus a little bit on short terms and not long terms, and start looking for shorts. especially if the United States, they can give, let's say, more stronger appearance and have more direct impact and conflict and engagement against Iran. So yeah, UK, I think United Kingdom is going to support Israel. The United States are supporting Israel. Few countries are supporting Israel. The countries that are not supporting Israel is Russia, so to say. Russia came out and made an announcement and said, this is not, this is not right. It's not good. What Israel is doing, blah blah blah. Why attacking the, nuclear facilities, etc. And then, the rest of the world turned around and said that, Israel, for the time being, has, finished with the attacks for the nuclear and looking to, take out other kind of actions. And it's kind of Russia said, okay, that's good to hear that, there's not going to be more attacks on the nuclear stuff. But this is, this is diplomacy now. They can say whatever they want, right? Actions speak louder. So let's see what's going to happen for the next few days. Honestly, I don't like wars. I don't like, seeing people getting killed. I don't care what color they have. I don't care what, language they speak or what religion they have. But on the other hand, just to be a little bit fair, I can understand the purpose, right? If someone's going to come up and say, hey, we see danger and we're trying to control it a little bit, minimize it. That is a good cause. But again, I don't have the intel. They can say whatever they like and trying to, convince the rest of the world that what they're doing is something good. How do we know? Right? So I don't want to get involved in too much in the politics, into the war. I'm just giving you a brief idea what's going on with the Middle crisis, the Middle East crisis. It's nothing new. It's been going on for decades. I mean, as a modern troubles, looking back in history, it's going on for 1,000 years, right? East and West collide. Nothing new. As I said again on the emergency meeting yesterday, it's all about control, right? Who is got in control and who's got the power. In general, if Israel pull this off, what does it mean for the region? Okay, if Israel is going to pull this off, so to say, that Iran is going to get defeated, so to say, there's going to be a lot of damage on Iran. That will give a lot of confidence to Israel. And yes, there are a lot of people talking about the stability that has been shaking off in the region. But you can see that the rest of the countries are not getting involved, right? Jordan, Syria, Egypt. I'm not going to say Lebanon. Hezbollah, so to say, there's a conflict going on there. Hamas has a conflict over there. But like Emirates, Saudi Arabia, they don't step in, right, to interfere with Israel. Egypt, is a little bit worried. Egypt start to, because they have a deal with Israel about energy, and when Egypt is a bit worried and said, hey, our source is from Israel. We have an agreement, and now because of the war, we can't get, let's say, oil and gas from Israel. So they're looking to get sources from elsewhere because they're a bit worried, especially now that it's a summer. The heat, the demand of cooling is high, so they need resources, right? So yeah, everyone's a bit worried, but as I said, if Israel pulls us off in the region, that is going to make Israel for the next decade like the small superpower in the region for the time being. They're going to become untouchable. Good or bad, I don't know. We're going to see. Turkey, I'm expecting a reaction from Turkey, to be honest. I'm expecting some silly stupid movements around the Aegean Sea and the Mediterranean, and because we got enough of US fleets, the fleet is around in the Mediterranean, I think it's going to be under control, but let's see. Right, but in general, guys, for the time being, I advise you not to go super heavy on longs. You should be a little bit on defensive trading, trying to look for short term, looking for shorts. Things are going down. The rest of the metrics are going down, right? Like oil, maybe, yeah, okay, it's spiking, okay, but it's dropping now. Okay, gold is dropping. Okay, the rest of the, okay, I mean, heating oil is going down a little bit now. The gasoline is going down. Natural gas is going down. SPX, I mean, go a bit in a higher time frame. You can see that SPX is kind of losing steam, right? We have a major drop, trying to reclaim, but it cannot touch the same highs, so that doesn't look very good. SPY, same thing, right? NDX, the same thing, which is Nasdaq, right? All the metrics of Nasdaq, I've got 3-4 different metrics for Nasdaq. They're all dropping. Dow Jones are dropping. Look at these highs, low highs. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't really look very good. Even Europe. Okay, this is the top 50 companies in Europe. Right, we see that was a highs. This is low highs. Okay, so that is dropping, not looking very good. Germany is dropping. Okay, Germany is trying to. I know what's going on with the Germany. The is military manufacturing going on. So Germany managed to break the previous highs, but it's dropping now. Okay, the economy of Germany. UK almost, trying to increase and maintain. Japan is pushing to the upside. It's trying to have a good recovery. Okay, and this is China, Hong Kong, and I can see that, they're giving us a low highs for the time being. Okay, Dixie is dropping. Okay, the value of the dollar is dropping. You can see here that euro against dollar is increasing. You get more euros from your dollar, so euro it becomes more expensive, so to say. Right, so it does with British pound. You can see that it's going up. Right, this is the dollar against the yen, kind of sideways right now. Okay. So you can see they had a major drop and trying to do a recovery. You can do a little bit parallel channel if you wish. You can do. There's a parallel channel going on here. A little bit deviation, a huge spike, but it came back. Alright, there it is. Okay. And yeah, so this is the global economy, so to say. And the one that I want to pay a little bit of attention is on the VIX, right? If VIX stays above 20 towards 25 and increasing, that is going to create uncertainty to the market. If it stays under 18, so to say, right, and stay under between 18 and 12, that's going to be really cool. It's not an average. I'm just saying that it's an observation that if I stay in these low levels, anything below these levels, which is 15, 15 is a little bit, I mean, yeah, okay, it's not too bad, but you get the idea. Between 15 and 18, if you stay in that region, it's going to be okay, cool. Anything above 18 is like a little bit alarming. It's trying to increase. I would like to see what's going to happen. Okay, so I'm waiting for the rest of the day and see what's going to happen with this indicator here. Okay, so increase is a bad thing for VIX. Okay, so I'm going to put this as a red or I can keep this as a support. I don't want to keep it as a support because it's not a good sign. So I'm going to keep this as a warning. If you see these rising, it is not good. Okay, that's the bottom line that I'm trying to give you guys here, that if we see VIX maintain that trend and increasing and break above 25, that is not going to be good. Okay, that is going to create more panic. So VIX is your fear index. The higher it goes, the higher the fear. Right? Yes, things are not looking very good, including the news, right? Including the news. If you put everything together, it doesn't look good. And that comes again to the conclusion that I had, that, you know, speaking about Bitcoin and phases and duration, right? If I want to do a very quick reminder for you guys, let me go to 6 months, right? And I can let me do this on another chart, nice clean chart. So leave that alone. Okay, leave that alone, and then I'm going to do another template, an empty template, bare minimum, and let's do Bitcoin with no drawings, nothing, and let's go to 6 months, right? And just remember how many times, how many candles we want to see on the 6 month, right? Let me bring the wicks into the game. And after a bear market, right, after the engulfing, you need to measure how many candles you see roughly. Okay, so this is the starting point. Okay, that was the previous top, it went down, that was the bottom, rock bottom, so that was a bear market. This is the engulfing, right? So that is the engulfing candle, and I measure after that how many candles I see until the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's do that once again. 5 candles, remember. So that was the top, that went down, bear market. This is engulfing candle. I measure how many candles we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if I go even further back in history, the average that I get is between 4 and 5. So the average is going to be like 4.5, 4.5. Okay, so let me do this for you here. Bull market, bear market, engulfing candle, measure the one after, all the way to the top, right? So that is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, that big blue one, and that's the top, right? After that, the 5th one is a bearish one. If I go even further back in time, if I get, you know, really zoomed in here and see what's going on. Okay, so you had another spike, bull market, comes down, bear market, engulfing candle. It took some time to create engulfing candles. How many candles do we have breaking these highs? 1, 2, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm gonna measure after the bottom, so to say. There's no engulfing here, very slow pace to the upside. 2012 now. So roughly we get 4 or 5 candles. Okay, so how many candles do we have now? So that is the top of the market, the previous highs. Bear market, this is the engulfing candle, ignore that. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. So, and that is going to close in 12 days. And then we're going to go for the 5th one. And this is the question now. Is the 4th one going to be the top one? And the 5th one, we're going to see a move to the downside. Are we going to see a spike? Is that the 5th one? So if we say average 4.5, this is the number 4. It's got another 12 days to finish. And then we need to see what's going to happen with the 5th one. Okay. And this is just historical data. Okay. I'm not trying to predict. I'm not trying to say something. All I'm saying is, if I take the price action, what he's done in the history is creating a pattern. So either 4 6-month candles or the fifth one, it's the one that usually markets is turning around. And look, lately on the 3 months, look at that wicks that we have, created here. Okay. I mean, yes, a purple and a blue is a continuation pattern, but I've got strong wicks above, giving me in a sense and understanding that this region here. So let me do all on the spikes here. Only the spikes. You can see here that region between 104 and 108, not 104, 108 and 109 is our resistance. Okay, so let me put these like a rectangle here and call that resistance. Okay, I can take this out. I took the 2 wicks, right? Come back, doesn't matter which time frame you are, this is our resistance. Okay, this is our resistance, and look at that. We tap inside, we come back, we tap inside, and we under that level. For us to see better days, so to say, we really need to see, right, Bitcoin really breaking above resistance, find support, and move to the upside, and maybe hit 120, and then maybe it's going to come down. I don't know, perhaps. Okay, but so far, this is what we have. Okay, this is what we have. Previous market top. Okay, it's not market top, but the previous all-time high, the new fresh all-time high in 2025. That was a big correction. It pushed one more time, but we see weakness. Okay, we cannot see any continuation. Right, you have a high, high, we got a high, we got a low high. Okay, and this is the question now: what is going to happen next? We know that we've got another 12 days before we finish the 6-month candle. Are we going to see a small spike and then major crash? I don't know. As wicks continue to increase, that is going to create FUD into the market. So people will start to close the trades, stop going long, and start getting defensive, and then start, shorting the market. And then we're going to see, crash coming. Another thing that I'm worried that is the GDP, okay, on the quarter, okay, that we have this red bar. This is recession. Every time that you have these red bars on GDP is recession time. And that is another, chart that brings a little bit uncertainty. Right, the last time that we had that, let's say, good drop, 6 months, it was back in 2020, okay, at the beginning of 2020. So that was COVID. The next one happened 2022, okay. So here we are now. Okay, why is red? Because it's lower from the previous bar. Okay, so if that is decreasing, can we put that in the line? I think you are able to have a line. I'm not allowed to have other type of candles. Either it's going to be a line, or either it's going to be area, or it's going to be columns like bars, right? So that is a little bit decreasing. Okay, you can see this, that is dropping. Okay, not majorly, but you don't need major columns for you to see it's red. Okay, so yes, the economy, it doesn't look very well. Okay, how many red candles you can have? Some of them you see average, you see 3. Some of them sometimes you see 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, that can measure be 3. That was a little bit more heavy in 2008. And that was a big bubble that we had back in 2008, the crisis. So you have multiple series, you got like 5 of them. But after that, yeah, you got kind of 3, 1, 2, 1. So we don't know what's going to happen here. Okay. So this red bar is going to be 1, it's going to be 2, it's going to be 3. We don't know. Okay, but if we continue to get red bars, this recession, markets are going to, in quotes, crash. Okay. Let's see what the rest of the days and week is going to bring us. Okay. Even that someone is following the Monday range. Once again, we broke under the Monday range. It's trying to reclaim. It got defended multiple times on the Monday low. Within early hours this morning, it spiked up on the Monday open, but it got defended and is under again on the Monday low. So that is a little bit bearish. Okay, it took out these highs, obviously, right, and it's coming down. Let's see if there's going to be a push today and bring it back. Okay, you know what Wednesdays are. Okay, push it down. Right, Monday was pushing up. We had the attack. Tuesday was coming down. It's not looking good. So let's see. I mean, the attack happened every day. I mean, look at that since here. You see that everything was dropping. That was the attack. That major drop that we had here, it was the attack. Then it was trying to reclaim. Took the previous highs. Liquidity, boom, is coming down. Let's see. Okay, I mean, step by step, guys. Don't panic. Just have a better understanding what's going on. We may see a little bit rally going on for a few hours, like today, tomorrow, but we need to see the overall picture, and that's why I'm zooming out a little bit. And this is the question. I don't want to get caught blind, so to say, or get caught in sleeping that I'm thinking that the market's going to go up when the markets are going down. Okay. That's it for today. Not too many alts. It was an overall, global market overview. So we did a little bit analysis of TA. What is going on? Not just only in crypto. We spoke about commodities. We've seen the gold. We've seen silver. You see, silver is increasing. That is, what is the background behind silver? Is heavy manufacturing is going on. The question is, what do they manufacture? Do they manufacture weapons, or do they, anything to do with electronics and stuff like that is going heavy on silver? So, yes, we need to be careful a little bit. If you see silver increasing because someone is looking for safe asset, oil is spiking, the war is going on, I'm just about to go off, so people not trusting currency, so to say, which currency is going to stay strong in the war. They're going to commodities. It's a safety asset, right? Like gold and silver. So yeah, we need to be a little bit cautious, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, just be a little bit cautious. Have a little bit a surround, sphere view of things, what's going on. Okay, and the bigger picture, it's not that really bad. We are consolidating. Okay. The recent news, so to say, it doesn't let Bitcoin have a nice solid structure to move further up. So short term, shorts, and just be careful, right? Just don't go wild. Just be careful, and then let's give it some time and see what's going to happen with the rest of the world. Is everyone going to start shorting? Right, that's it for today. We went just a little bit over the top. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope you found value. I hope now you have more things for you to keep an eye. It's not only Bitcoin, right? You trying to analyze the market and trying to understand what's going on, right? And you need to understand if the big whales are moving to safer assets, aka gold, maybe they're going to trade a little bit oil because they know that the oil is going to spike up. If you want to see a little bit, silver that is going up, right? So yeah, keep things under your radar, okay? let's see. I'm not gonna, a lot of people expecting a lot of moves to the upside. I hear it, I understand it, I see the hope here, but I'm just gonna be a little bit, stay a little bit behind and say, hey, I need to see what's gonna happen with the markets. That's it. I'm gonna leave it here. I don't want to say it too much. I don't want to influence you heavily. I just wanted to give you an overview, a sphere view of what is going on, not only in Bitcoin, not only in the crypto space. We want to see the currencies, what's going on. We want to see the commodities, what's going on, the index, get a bigger picture for you to understand what's going on, okay? Overall, the markets cannot push higher, okay? So never mind what they say, the influencers and the crypto gurus and stuff like that. Watch out the VIX. Okay, that's a good indicator. Watch out for the VIX. The VIX is going to give you a little bit understanding what's going on. If the market is fearful, you can see that chart printing. If it's going to break above 25, then you understand that we're approaching to other kind of territory as psychology. Okay. Obviously, if that VIX is increasing, that means people are going down. They're shorting, closing trades heavily. Okay. Right, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to wish you a happy rest of the day. Be safe out there. Be cautious. And remember, taking action quickly is going to save you. Okay? Don't get caught on the wrong direction, so to say. Take care. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye, guys.